I'm going to talk about some indie games for a bit. Then when I'm done, you're going to play those games. Okay? Good. I am Mango, and I love indie games. I've loved video games since I was a kid, so it warms my little fruity heart seeing people who feel the same way make these masterpieces filled with the care and passion you just don't really see with AAA games recently. So I wanted to talk about all the indie games I played last year, so that hopefully you can find something that you haven't played and try it for yourself. Fair warning, a good portion of these are horror games. Sometimes I only have time to play games when I'm streaming, and I just play a lot of horror games on stream, so yeah.
Ready? Go!
To protect your property and family, it is necessary to keep the firearms near you.
I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. Unspoken is low on this list because I did not finish it. And I did not finish it because it was too scary. Unspoken is a first-person horror shooter about masked dudes breaking into your home. Or at least it is for the first 5 minutes. After that, you go into some apartment building with naked gremlins and a talking rabbit. It was very confusing, but again, I didn't finish it. I wish I had more to say, but I literally couldn't finish this game. There's something about dark, tight corners and small spaces and houses and buildings that give me that, deep, guttural fear. It's probably one of the things that scares me the most. Not the thing that scares me the most, though. That'd be water. Okay, now we can talk about the games that I actually liked. Starting with Choo Choo Charles, which is a game about riding a train and upgrading it to fight Charles. The gameplay consists of riding around a little island in your cute tiny train, doing quests for people who will give you parts to upgrade your train into an absolute unit. You do this because while you're traversing the island, Charles can randomly jump you and attack while you're riding. The quests are fun, but fighting Charles is the best part. It's cool going from the beginning of the game, where a Charles encounter is guaranteed death, to the end of the game where you use all of your weapons for basically a boss fight. Charles' movement could be a bit more fleshed out, but even so, it's still really fun.
Are you tired of dealing with pesky rats that just won't leave you alone? Introducing Rat Shaker, the fast, easy, and fun way to keep rats in check. Just hold, shake, and watch that meter.
Rat Shaker is easily the goofiest game on this list. It's a short, hour-long experience that is absolutely worth the staggering price of 3 big greens. Rat Shaker puts you through basically a roller coaster of emotions. You'll be all scared walking down a dark hallway, then the rat, who's just named the Rat, will say some sort of rat pun and make you laugh. Then something explodes and you're scared again, then the rat says a rat pun and you laugh again.
I wonder if a fall from this high would kill me.
Rinse and repeat. As for the story, you shake the rat. Anything else spoils it, so you shake the rat. I love this game. Oh boy, rage games. You gotta love rage games. They always fill me with such happiness and joy, and sadness, and hate. Despite that, a difficult game about climbing was actually really fun to play. Being the spiritual successor of sorts to Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy, AdGAC improves a lot of the mechanics of Getting Over It, such as more checkpoints, better movement, and more complex tricks. It's still a rage game, so I'm not gonna pretend I wasn't wanting to pull my hair out at certain points, but something about the movement made it feel so satisfying when you clear an area. Until you fall past your checkpoint to an area you were at 3 hours ago and want to die again. Did you know people still make mascot horror games? Because I thought FNAF and whatever the hell Garten of Banban is had beaten the genre into a bloody pulp. But oh my goodness was I wrong, because there was not one, but 2 great mascot horror games made this year. Indigo Park and Finding Frankie. Both games involve exploring some type of amusement park, each for their own reasons, and running from the park's evil mascots. However, they each have something that makes them very different from all the other games in this genre. For Inigo Park, what I loved is how much you can really feel that Unique Geese, the developer, cared about this game. Everything from the funny descriptions for all the collectibles, the menus that look like actual menus, or the minigame with a whole-ass platformer level. The game is fun enough already, but the feel adds so much more. And all of this, and it's not even the full game. This is just the first chapter. And as for Finding Frankie, it is so much fun to play. The chases are fun, the puzzles are fun, and there are so many obstacle courses. Of course, the characters and story are fun, but no other game has scratched that itch I've had for years of running through those McDonald's play areas again.
Let me in! Let me in!
Fellas, I adore platformers, so it should come as no surprise that I consider Celeste to be one of the big kahunas of indie games. Now in 2024, Celeste celebrated its 6th anniversary. And with the anniversary came Celeste 64, Fragments of the Mountain. Unlike Celeste, Celeste 64 is a 3D platformer. However, similarly to Celeste, Celeste 64 is unbelievably fun to play. It is very short, admittedly. It's actually so short that there's not really even a story. You just jump right in and start collecting strawberries. Not that that takes away from the game at all, because even with the small size, it's still Celeste. It's got the same fun mechanics, the same adorable characters. They even put stuff like B-sides in, so there's plenty to do. And the music! Oh! If you like collectathon games, you'll like this. Just play with the controller. I didn't, and I regretted it. This section is going to be quick because I don't want to spoil anything about mouthwashing. The thing everyone talks about with mouthwashing is its story, and for good reason because the story is insane. It is so weird and intriguing, and it hooks you almost instantly. Add PS1 graphics and some damn good audio design to it and you have a truly unique experience. I know I've barely talked about it, but please go play this game. Watch the trailer if you have to, but stop there. I promise you will thank me later. Good lord, I love Metroidvanias. My first Metroidvania was Hollow Knight, another Mango-approved indie, and ever since playing it, I have become greatly attached to the genre. And since I'm not gonna get to see Silksong until I'm 74, I always love finding games that take some inspiration from it. And Bo, Path of the Teal Lotus is one of those games. In it, you play as Bo, a tiny a tiny Tentai Hana who goes around fighting monsters, helping people, and chasing down this sick-ass giant skeleton. Lots of Bo's movements are very unique and feel great, which makes backtracking or just playing through the game a ton of fun. None of the side quests were too hard to do, and the boss fights were awesome. Adding to that the beautiful animation and music, Path of the Teal Lotus was an absolute joy to play. Only complaint is that they kill a dog. It was completely unnecessary, and it was mean, and it made me sad. Immediate docking of points, Mango does not approve of dog death. Other than that, great game. This might just be the most unique game I talk about today. I don't normally find games with Atari graphics and 2 controls super fun, but Faith the Unholy Trinity is absolutely an exception. In it, you play as a priest named John Ward, a man who, after experiencing a traumatic incident, to avoid spoilers, returns to the site of the incident to finish what he started.
Nope.
That's only the tip of the iceberg though, because this game's story runs deep. Even if you avoid all the lore papers, which you shouldn't, the story is still incredibly interesting and well done. I already commented about the game only having 2 controls, those being the arrow keys and the spacebar. But Erdorf, the developer, manages to do so much with those controls that it never feels too bland or simple. There's always some fun new way to press the spacebar. But what's even cooler than that is the animation. Most of the animations are done with rotoscoping. which for those of you who don't know, is an animation technique where you take a real-life reference and draw over it frame by frame. The rotoscoping, combined with the creepy pixel art and disturbing chiptune ambience, make these cutscenes absolutely terrifying. If you find faith, or just religious horror in general, interesting, I highly recommend checking out Wendigoon's interview with Erdorf. I won't talk about it too much since it's not my video, but it makes a ton of the game's lore so much more interesting. Play the game first though. Good God, I have waited so long to talk about this game. Anton Blast is the latest game in the genre that I have decided to call Wario-like, since they take heavy inspiration from the Wario Land games. It also seems to take inspiration from another Wario-like, that being Pizza Tower, which is another one of my favorite indie games. Are you starting to see a pattern here?
I know what I'm about, son.
Anton Blast is about Anton and his roommate Annie trying to get back all of their alcohol that was stolen by the devilishly handsome devil. I've been following Anton Blast's development for a while, and it was well worth the wait. The game's art style is funky and cool, and that goes for the music too. Much like Pizza Tower, the movement is good and only gets better as you pick up speed and chain combos. There are collectibles, skins, this weird TV. Anton Blast absolutely lived up to the hype. Pseudo Regalia is a short N64-style 3D platformer that I have absolutely fallen in love with. The story isn't revealed until the end, so we'll skip that and I'll just gush about how good it feels to play. The movement is so crispy, it is so fun to play, and it only gets better as the game progresses. In addition to being a 3D platformer, Pseudo Regalia also has a lot of Metroidvania elements, and just as every good Metroidvania should, every upgrade makes you feel so much better. It gets to the point that moving around feels so good that it's addicting. I got stuck towards the end of the game looking for areas I hadn't been to. I ran around for 45 minutes and couldn't have been happier doing it. And the music is magical. Lots of tracks give heavy Zelda vibes, which I am all for. Pseudo Regalia is just such a joy to play, and the main character Sybil has really, really nice character design. Yep, character design. That's what I was gonna say. What did you think I was gonna say? Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to my Indie of the Year, my Game of the Year, and one of my new favorite indie games of all time. I love Crow Country. The gameplay is super fun, the story is awesome, the vibes are immaculate. If you like Resident Evil, then this is going to be an immediate win for you. Imagine a top-down RE game, but better. That's Crow Country. It's about Special Agent Mara Forrest traveling to the abandoned Crow Country amusement park to investigate the disappearance of the park's owner, Edward Crow. You have to explore the park, meet people, and solve puzzles while dealing with the park's guests. What? All of the weapons are fun to use, and the puzzles are all really well done. There's also a ton of replayability. I'm pretty sure I ended up playing through the whole game 5 or 6 times before I was done. I want to talk more about it so bad, but I would really, really prefer if you go play it for yourself. Even if you don't like horror games, make an exception for Crow Country. And that is every indie game I played last year. I hope you found something you haven't heard of. And if you didn't, then I don't care. On the other hand, if there were any indie games you loved last year that I didn't talk about, please let me know so I can add it to my ever-expanding backlog. And if you like listening to me scream about indie games, subscribe and I'll scream more. There also should be a Godot video coming out. At some point. And now I must ascend to indie heaven until I return next January. Farewell.